In feudal Japan, where samurai ruled with iron discipline and castle walls stood impenetrable, a different kind of warrior operated in the shadows. The ninja, Japan's legendary spies and assassins, developed methods of killing that left no trace, no evidence, and often no explanation. At the heart of their deadliest arts was a secret knowledge of poisons so sophisticated that modern scientists are still unraveling their formulas. These shadow warriors cultivated gardens not for beauty, but for death. While samurai adhered to strict codes of honor that demanded face-to-face combat, ninja operated under no such constraints. They were pragmatists in a world of idealists, tasked with impossible missions that required stealth, deception, and, when necessary, untraceable elimination. To accomplish this, they became history's first systematic toxicologists, studying the natural world not just as farmers or healers, but as weaponsmiths of nature's deadliest compounds. Their poison gardens, hidden in mountain enclaves and disguised as medicinal plots, contained plants so dangerous that merely brushing against some could cause paralysis or death. The foundation of ninja poisoncraft began with understanding Japan's native flora. The Japanese yew tree, with its innocent-looking red berries, was among their favorites. While the fleshy part of the berry is harmless, the seeds contain toxin alkaloids that cause cardiac arrest with almost no warning signs. Ninja would dry and powder these seeds, creating a substance that could be slipped into food or drink, causing victims to simply stop as if their life thread had been cut by the gods themselves. What made this poison particularly valuable was its ability to mimic natural heart failure, leaving no evidence of foul play. Perhaps most terrifying was the ninja's use of tetrodotoxin, harvested from the Japanese pufferfish or fugu. This neurotoxin is over 1,000 times more potent than cyanide, with no known antidote. Historical records from the Edo period describe ninja operatives specially trained to extract and handle this substance, which could kill in quantities smaller than a grain of salt. When applied to weapons, even a scratch would ensure death within hours. Victims would remain fully conscious as paralysis spread through their body, eventually stopping their ability to breathe, while their mind remained terrifyingly aware until the end. The preparation of these poisons was itself a deadly art. Ninja poison masters wore protective coverings made from treated paper and cloth, understanding cross-contamination centuries before Western science developed similar concepts. They worked at night when certain plants release their toxins at different concentrations, and harvested during specific moon phases believed to enhance potency. Many poison handlers would build immunity through the practice of mithridatism, consuming tiny, gradually increasing amounts of poison until they could handle lethal substances without harm. This practice came with a terrible price. Many developed chronic illnesses, and historical scrolls mention poison masters whose skin turned permanently yellow or who lost the ability to feel heat and cold. Beyond plants and animals, ninja alchemists learned to extract and concentrate minerals like arsenic from natural sources. They created what was called death sand, fine powder containing arsenic trioxide that could be blown into the air of a closed room, causing everyone inside to develop mysterious, wasting illnesses that would kill over days or weeks. This method was particularly valued for assassinating groups of targets simultaneously, while leaving no evidence connecting the deaths to outside interference. The victims' symptoms resembled those of natural diseases, and medieval medicine had no way to detect the true cause. The ninjas' delivery systems for these poisons were as ingenious as the toxins themselves. They created hollow hairpins that could puncture skin and inject poison during a seemingly innocent collision in a crowded place. They designed specialized containers called fukia that could blow poisoned darts with accuracy up to 30 feet. Perhaps most devious were their poisoned gifts, objects like scrolls or fabric treated with topical toxins that would be absorbed through the recipient's hands. Historical accounts mention a daimyo, who died after receiving a beautifully illustrated message from a rival. The paper treated with a poison that entered through his fingertips as he admired the calligraphy. Water supply poisoning represented one of the ninjas' most devastating strategies. They developed water-soluble toxins extracted from plants like wolfsbane, aconite, that could contaminate wells or water storage within castle compounds. These compounds were designed to break down after several days, leaving no trace for primitive detection methods. One historical account describes a castle siege where defenders mysteriously began dying of mountain sickness, allowing attackers to easily overcome the weakened garrison. Later investigation revealed that ninja agents had introduced aconite into the castle's rainwater collection system days before the attack. The psychological impact of ninja poisoncraft extended far beyond its physical effects. Japanese nobility lived in constant fear of invisible assassins and untraceable poisons. Food tasters became essential staff, though ninja adapted by creating delayed action toxins that would only take effect hours after consumption. Some daimyo became so paranoid they would only eat food grown in their immediate gardens and prepared by trusted family members. This fear created a psychological warfare advantage. Many political concessions were made simply due to the threat of poison rather than its actual use. What made ninja poison particularly terrifying was their mastery of combination toxins. They understood that certain poisons, when combined, created effects greater than either could produce alone. They mixed plant neurotoxins with venoms from snakes or poisonous insects, creating compounds that attacked multiple body systems simultaneously. Some combinations were designed to produce specific symptoms that would implicate natural causes, like mixtures that mimicked food poisoning or contagious disease. This sophisticated understanding of synergistic effects wouldn't be rediscovered by Western medicine until centuries later. The ninjas' knowledge wasn't limited to killing. They developed a parallel pharmacopoeia of antidotes and treatments for their own protection. Many carried specialized pills made from clay, herbs, and charcoal that could absorb poisons if swallowed quickly after exposure. They discovered that certain plant combinations could neutralize specific toxins, knowledge that sometimes leaked into traditional Japanese medicine. Some historical accounts suggest that ninja clans occasionally sold antidotes to the very poisons they deployed, creating both the threat and the expensive solution. Training in poison craft began in childhood for those selected for this specialization. Young apprentices started with identifying plants, then progressed to handling non-lethal irritants before graduating to deadly substances. This training included not just creation and application of poisons, but also recognition of symptoms and environmental detection. Ninja were taught to observe insects and animals around food and water sources. If local wildlife avoided certain areas, it likely indicated contamination. They learned to detect subtle odors and discolorations that might reveal the presence of toxic compounds. The transmission of this knowledge followed strict protocols. Poison formulas were rarely written down, instead passed through oral tradition using coded language and metaphors. What written records did exist often contained deliberate errors or omissions that only a properly trained practitioner would recognize and correct. Some scrolls used specialized cipher systems where the true instructions were hidden within seemingly innocent gardening or cooking texts. This compartmentalization ensured that if a ninja was captured, they couldn't reveal the clan's full poison-making capabilities, even under torture. Perhaps the most sophisticated aspect of ninja poisoncraft was their understanding of targeted toxins. They developed poisons that would affect specific types of people more severely, compounds that were more lethal to large-bodied warriors than to smaller individuals, or that affected men more strongly than women. They created toxins that would intensify with alcohol consumption, allowing them to poison sake at banquets, while the ninja operative, abstaining from drink, would remain unaffected. This selective toxicity represented an understanding of biochemical individuality that wouldn't be scientifically established until the 20th century. The decline of the ninja coincided with Japan's unification and the beginning of the Edo period in the early 17th century. As Japan entered an era of relative peace, the demand for covert assassination diminished. The Tokugawa shogunate also implemented strict regulations on the cultivation and possession of poisonous plants, specifically targeting the types known to be used by ninja clans. Many poison masters were hunted down or forced to destroy their gardens and texts. Some historians believe this systematic eradication of poison knowledge was so thorough that significant portions of ninja toxicology were lost forever. However, not all of this knowledge disappeared. Some ninja families preserved their secrets by integrating into Japanese society as herbalists, doctors, or gardeners, hiding deadly knowledge within legitimate professions. Certain traditional Japanese medicines still contain diluted derivatives of what were once ninja poisons. Modern pharmaceutical research has rediscovered compounds first weaponized by ninja centuries ago, now repurposed to treat heart conditions, pain, and even cancer. What once brought death now sometimes brings healing. Recent archaeological excavations at suspected ninja strongholds have uncovered specialized gardens with unusual plant combinations that align with historical descriptions of poison cultivation. Chemical analysis of residue found on ancient tools has confirmed traces of toxins consistent with historical accounts. In some remote mountain regions of Japan, unusual plant groupings still grow wild, living remnants of abandoned ninja poison gardens that have survived for centuries. Their deadly purpose now forgotten by all but a few historians and ethnobotanists. The legacy of the ninja poison gardens lives on in Japanese culture. Traditional tales warn children against touching certain plants or wandering into deep forests where ghost gardens might still exist. Some traditional Japanese gardens include subtle references to this history, with specific plant combinations that would be recognized by the knowledgeable as diluted echoes of once lethal arrangements. The poison gardens of the ninja remain a chilling reminder that in feudal Japan, the deadliest weapon was often not the sword, but knowledge of nature's darker aspects, knowledge that allowed these shadow warriors to strike without ever being seen. If you found this exploration of ninja poisoncraft interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. The shadows of history often hide the most fascinating stories.